everyone, and thank you for joining me on my channel today, Transform with Tez. Today I want to talk about sleeping, and I want to give you a couple of Tez's little tips to help you with sleeping. But before we start, I just want to give you a little bit of background to explain why I'm going to be telling you my experience with sleeping and the tips, how I've got these tips from my own experience. So, I actually suffered with nightmares, and I mean very bad nightmares, for about 23, 24 years, ever since I was, like, as far as I can remember, basically. And I actually didn't really realise I had a problem. It's not until other people come into your life, I think, or maybe you get to a certain age and you start to realise, like, maybe this isn't quite right. And it wasn't until I got with my partner, and my partner just noticed that I was tossing and turning all night long. And I knew that because it always felt like I was only ever asleep for about 5 minutes at a time. And I would wake up and I toss and I turn. And additionally, on top of that tossing and turning, I would then be abruptly woken up by horrendous nightmares. And I mean, these nightmares were terrible, absolutely terrible. I'd wake up, my heartbeat would be going, I would imagine things being in the room. I could move, I didn't have that sleep paralysis as such, but yeah, it was just awful. And sometimes it just takes that extra person to help you realise that there is an additional problem here, and that's not necessarily normal. And because I went my life like that, you don't realise that these things aren't necessarily normal. However, sleep has such a huge impact on your health. And I've had memory problems for quite a long time, but that's related to stress and other things that I've experienced. And additionally, just your day-to-day well-being and your mental health, how important sleep actually is for you. Like, sleep is literally our recovering time. It's where our body takes its time out to do all of that undercover healing that we can't do ourselves. Our body's intelligence takes over, and this repairs and happens in our sleep. So sleep is so important to your well-being of your everyday life, and that's why it's important for me to come back to you guys, spread my knowledge, spread what worked for me, to get out of this cycle. So I can now happily say that nightmares are not every single night. Nightmares are a couple of times a month, I would say, still, but nowhere, and I mean nowhere, they're just your bog standard nightmare. They're nowhere near like what they were, which is absolutely incredible. And additionally, I am not joking you, I have got to a stage where I am falling asleep in about, I don't know, a minute, maybe less than a minute, and I am asleep, and I mean this, I am asleep the whole night, which is crazy, until the time that I wake up, unless I need to get up for a wee, which is quite often. But other than that, I am literally asleep the whole time. This is such an amazing U-turn from waking up what felt like every 5 minutes in the night, and I'm serious, every 5 minutes, and these horrendous nightmares that would literally have me shaking, crying, heartbeat going. I feel, because I have such an imagination, I am a creative person, I feel like this was real. Basically, I felt like this was real, and I'm sure it probably did have an impact on my life that I wasn't really aware of, because of course, like I said, you can't heal properly until you are going through this good sleep, really. Sleeping is a crucial part of our healing. Remember, this is where we restore. It's our body's intelligence taking over. So this is so important. Please make it important and a priority for you to sleep, fix your sleep if this is something that you are able to do. Okay, so get into the tips. So tip number 1 is, and this is a really big one, okay, massive. Tip number 1 is your environment. Is there anything that you can change in your environment to help you get to sleep? So when I was had my sleeping patterns and habits that I did before, I actually couldn't sleep with the light off, and I couldn't sleep without the TV on. So I'd actually fall asleep with the TV on as well. And even though I thought, well, this is keeping me safe, because I'm almost, I never thought I was, but almost like scared of the dark and scared of hearing any noises, how about thinking of it as these things are actually keeping me alert whilst I'm trying to sleep? So I'm actually physically switching something on or keeping something on so I can actually never rest. I'm not setting myself up to rest. I am setting myself up to be hyper vigilant and look out for something. So that's just something that I want you to take away, and I want you to think about and see and really think if there is a change that you can make. And by change, I mean training yourself out of these habits. Training, and I know it's hard, it will take time, but training yourself to feel safe by turning that light off, or maybe turning it down. So say if you had a lamp, for example, and you had like a little nozzle, or if you had one of those light switches that had the nozzle where you can turn the dim it up and dim it down, why not try and dim it ever so slightly, and dim it ever so more, and ever so more, until eventually it comes off. Or maybe you can turn your bedroom light off, but you can turn the hallway light on. And again, step by step, taking measurements to switch off this alertness. So tip number 1, I would say, really switch off your alertness. Okay, so yeah, I think that's like my top 1. Number 2 is I actually had a dog at the time that all of this was happening, and again, as protection and living by myself, I absolutely loved having the dog sleep with me, and I wouldn't take that away. I absolutely loved the dog coming. But it wasn't until my partner came and he made me realize that actually maybe the dog is affecting my sleep. It was definitely affecting his sleep, because I don't know about you, but my dog absolutely loved getting underneath the covers, then going out of the covers because he's too hot. Then he felt like, I want to be inside, I want to be in between your legs. So it was just a recurring cycle that would disrupt me basically all night. So yeah, that's the number 2, and I know that's really difficult. I absolutely hated kicking my dog out. Basically, he had the sofa, he did have his own blankets, and I do have to tell you that even though it was hard for about 2 weeks. He kept coming to the door like crying because he wanted to come in, and that was really hard because I loved having cuddles, I loved him having cuddles, but I have to say, I think he actually enjoyed his time on the sofa. I think he loved his own space, he loved that he had his own blanket. We had a new little routine where we'd kiss him goodnight and wrap him up in a little blanket, and he would know, and he was comfortable. And to be honest, I'm really glad that we did that then, before he got too old, because he eventually, you know, and this happens with a lot, he didn't actually really wee himself, but a little dribble would come out, and hygienically I didn't want to be sleeping in that with that, and I wouldn't necessarily know about it either. So yeah, just some food for thought. And it's a difficult one. Like, I absolutely loved that time. Like, it felt really special with my dog. But yes, unfortunately, they do disrupt your sleep. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3 would be, is there something that is keeping you stuck in this pattern? I don't know whether you've ever thought about your cycle that you are doing at bedtime, whether it's a pattern. Could it be that something very specific happened in your childhood or something, maybe your teenage years, which is keeping you from being able to switch off? And is there any way that you could do a little bit digging into that, not to upset you, not to bring the trauma back, but just to have more of an understanding where this has come from, and then be able to come back to your adult form and say, okay, I'm really compassionate to the fact that this has caused this, but it's no longer serving me now in my adult life. So I actually need to proactively direct myself somewhere else. Does that make sense? So by acknowledging where this is coming from, you then give yourself compassion, and you almost give yourself an element of release to let go of that and acknowledge, this isn't right for me anymore. Thank you very much for serving me when I was a child, but I now need to move on. And again, just these small realizations can really help you create these different milestones and habits to a better you, basically. So yeah, that is tip number 3. And number 4 would be your routine. What are you doing before bed? What are you even doing in the day? Like, not even just like 1 hour before bed. Think about 4 hours, 3 hours before. Maybe you've made your dinner and you've sat down and you're watching a very specific TV program. Have you ever thought about what you are watching before you go to TV, or what are you seeing on your phone? I don't know about you, but I know about me. I've got a lot of different things coming up on my phone that I haven't asked for, about war and about this is bad in the world and this is bad in the world, blah blah. You get what I'm trying to say. Do you think that is good to be reading and seeing before you go to bed? Because this can all be subconsciously saying to your brain, we are not quite safe, so we can't switch off. So then you wake up in the middle of the night, you know, and then you're wide awake. Your alert button is on, going bing, I'm up now. You know, we need to have a look what's going on until we can feel calm enough to go back to bed. So just really think about what is your routine before going to bed. And I can't really stress the importance of trying to stay to a routine. So going to bed like between, I don't know what your routine is, but I would say no later than 10:30 really, to wake up at a suitable time the next day. Make sure that you are sticking to around that. It doesn't have to obviously be directly on that, like 10:30 exactly. It doesn't have to. Don't put so much stress on that. But just in the fact of, let's create a routine. So my body is a bit like a robot, let's say, a bit like a computer. I need to give it a formula for it to follow, and eventually over time it'll go, oh, I'm feeling a bit sleepy now, without you even having a look that it's close to 10:30. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So with these little practices, you can rewire your brain to think in a different pattern. At the moment, your brain has wired in, I'm not going to be able to go to sleep. That's what's currently wired in your brain. But our brains are adaptable. And it's okay that your brain is saying this. Again, these are things that are probably learned from a protective mechanism from when you were a child. And again, amazing, that probably really helped you when you were a child. But coming into adult world and trying to, you know, you've gone so and so years, like 40 something years without having proper sleep. Think of the effects of that over time. I mean, without sleep, you are probably going to be inviting more diseases, illness, mental health conditions. It's probably going to affect your relationships and also how you see yourself in the world. It just affects everything, you know? Like I said, sleep is where we heal. This is where our body can regenerate. So it's so important. So remember to make sleep your priority. Right. So lastly, number 5 is breath work. So I'm not saying you need to sit there and sit up, but you can if you want to. If you want to do this before you go to bed and you sit up, but I would preferably, if I'm using it to go to bed, I would actually probably just lay down flat. And like I said, you can do it either way. You can try both ways. Maybe you prefer one over the other, but my personal preference would be to probably just lie down flat, give yourself a little wiggle in bed, and relax everything as much as you can. Just sort of sink into that mattress behind you, let your shoulders relax, let all your hips, you know, all the tension in your body just sink into that mattress or whatever you're sleeping on. So let it all go and just lie there a moment with normal breathing. So just notice your breathing. So I'm just gonna close my eyes and do this at the same time. So just notice your breathing. When you're asleep, no stress, no pressure. There's no right or wrong way that you are breathing. Just take note about how are you breathing. Where do you feel the breath entering in your body? Through your nose, and then where does it travel to? Maybe you're breathing more in like your upper parts, nearly just underneath the collarbones. Maybe that's predominantly where a lot of your breath is sort of heading to first. Or maybe it's going into your tummy. If it isn't automatically going into your tummy first, what I want you to do is redirect that into your tummy. And just take a moment to recalibrate. Again, I don't want you breathing too forcefully. I just want you to go at your normal pace that feels natural. We don't want to cause any extra stress on your body. This is a time to wind down. If there's any thoughts coming into your mind right now, that's absolutely okay. But what I want you to do is try and be the observer. And this does take practice. If you find that you have derailed with one of your thoughts, that's okay. But as long as you always take a moment and notice, oh, I've derailed. And that's the important bit. I've derailed, let me start again. And the more and more you do that, the more you will be able to just observe the thoughts and not dive into them. And you'll notice when you just observe the thoughts and you don't really think anything surrounding that thought, the thought might just eventually just flow away. So just inhale nice and softly, and an exhale nice and softly. So next what I want you to do is we're going to do box breathing. You may have heard of it before. The box breathing is where we create a box using 4 seconds. So it's 4, 4, 4, 4. So it's breathing in for 4, holding for 4, breathing out for 4, and holding for 4. You can repeat this as many times as you want. If you're finding that the hold in and the hold out is too much, again, that's perfectly okay. The aim is to make you relax, ready for sleep. So if you're finding this is causing any stress on your body, just eradicate the holding in and holding out. And you would do 1, 2, 3, 4 in, and then straight out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the third version of this is when you want to extend the numbers, or again, if the 4 is too long for you for now, you can make that shorter. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, 1, 2, 3, in, 1, 2, 3. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So you can adapt this to how you want, however you feel comfortable. I don't want you to do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, that is causing stress on your body. The aim is to help you to fall asleep. So no stress, completely relax. Try the different variations, whichever one feels more suitable for you. Please try it, and at least you tried it. Again, if it doesn't feel quite right first night, please just continue to try it. Not everything feels right the first time, not everything works the first time. Sometimes we need a little bit of patience, and sometimes we're holding too much stress still in our body, you know, to go into the breathing. So give yourself a good period before to just lie there. Just literally lie there in your bed. No box breathing, just lying, just noticing your breath and creating this environment ready for you to sleep. So I hope you have enjoyed the video today. Leave any comments below about any questions that you have regarding sleep. If any of this has actually helped you, I would absolutely love to know. So please send me a message. I'll be so grateful. I'll be so happy to hear from you. So yeah, that's it from me today. Thank you very much, and please don't forget to follow Transform with Tez, and on Instagram there's Transform with Tez 111 if you like to look me up for nervous system regulation. And also I am a yoga teacher, and I am currently training for life coaching as well as being trauma informed. So thank you very much for your support, and I will see you soon.